my delegation, leaders of the FDC and my family present here. Today I came to this nomination a prisoner. While trying to access my office in Najanankumbi to get vital documents for what has happened here today, I was kidnapped by the security forces, forced into a saloon vehicle, brutalized. I wear a lot of bruises on my body, and I feel body pain. I come here without shoes, not because it is my choice to walk barefoot, but this shows the kind of dictatorship that we are up against. We have always, as the FDC, preached to Ugandans and said to them that Mr. Museveni now runs a fully blown dictatorship. And if you cannot believe, as a Ugandan out there, can I have this raised a bit? It's quite short. And if any Ugandan out there doesn't believe, see what has happened to a presidential candidate, a prospective president of Uganda, who can be treated this way. I would like to assure the people of this land that despite what happens to us in the struggle, many have been maimed and killed. Others have been gone to prison because of the struggle to liberate this country. We as the FDC will never give up until the yoke of dictatorship is removed from the necks of the people of this country. Today I was just saying to the chairman of the Electoral Commission, he needs to do something about this. Because then, if nothing happens, the election that we are going into will not be a normal election, and therefore it is almost a fait accompli even before the process of soliciting for votes commences. And therefore, my call to Ugandans is that change is not going to come on a silver platter. The brutality of Mr. Museveni, supported by a partisan police and security system, is something that we have got to deal with. This is not a matter of only we in the political front line. It is going to be a matter of every Ugandan who continues to suffer. My candidature, fellow countrymen, ladies and gentlemen, represents the 90% of people who continue to suffer. My candidature is against the 1% of Ugandans who are responsible for the suffering of the 90%. My candidature is about dealing with those 99% who facilitate the dictator and his cohorts. And so we go into this election, of course, working for a win. But if this does not come, then the dividend about it should be for us to rally support of the population and ensure that this country is given back to the people. My slogan in this campaign is building a new Uganda. That Uganda that is going to be equal for everybody. That Uganda that is going to address the needs of this peasant living deep in my village. That person who makes a living, wakes up every day, goes to work to ensure that they provide a service to the people of this country, and yet do not get paid sufficiently. My candidature is about this woman who, when she goes to deliver, risks dying. You know that in this country, 17 women die every day out of childbirth. And yet, we have people receiving preferential treatment out there in foreign countries at the expense of common Ugandans. This candidature is about this young person whose family sells everything that they have, including land, to attain education in university, and yet at the end of the day comes back home without a job and becomes a nuisance. The power candidature is about education, getting a population that can then be able to contribute effectively to the running of this country. This is not going to be achieved easily. We are aware that the dictator has all the money that is going to deploy in this campaign. He has the security services that is going to deploy in this campaign. He has got a network of bootlickers whom he is going to deploy in this campaign. But our comfort is that we have the people on our side. These are the people who are going to cause change in this country. And so my clarion call to all Ugandans is that we go into this election struggling for the future of Ugandans and struggling for the future of those who come after us and those who come after them. Fellow citizens, at this point, may I announce that we will be unveiling our manifesto in a matter of 1 week. And the unveiling of the manifesto is going to take place in the Eastern District of Soroti, where I was born and started my political journey. And so at that point, we'll be explaining to Ugandans how we will achieve whatever promise we have made to the nation of Uganda in the next 5 years. My presidency is going to be a presidency of lean everything. And therefore, those of you who believe in, big things, this presidency is not going to be for you. We are therefore going to cut costs on expenditure. We are going to run a lean government so that the money that is freed will go to assist our people who are suffering in villages. This presidency is going to toe the line of the FDC. And for us, we have zero tolerance to corruption. And therefore, this is a strong message to those of you who think this is going to be a joking matter. Things have to change for the good of our country. We will be coming out there to you, my dear friends, fellow Ugandans, to preach a message of hope. We'll be coming to all the corners of this country to ensure that we inform you about our manifesto, which is going to on policy shifts.
Because I know when you tell them...
Patrick Amuriat Obol, the FDC presidential candidate, giving his nomination acceptance speech at Chambago University Sports Ground. We are going to take a breather, but then we shall return a little bit later on for this broadcast. But as it is, we are going to break off for NTV at 1. We'll be right back. Yes, a very good afternoon. You're now live on NTV at 1. Let's revert you back to Chambogo University Sports Ground and listen in to more of the submissions of Patrick Amuriat.
This may be achieved. I know that in the minds of many, you might say, well, this is just an attempt like any other, because you think that the FDC has been in the field many times. But I want to remind Ugandans watching and listening to me that the FDC actually won the election of 2016 by 52.8%. It is that victory that we pursue beginning today. It is that victory that we seek to reclaim beginning now. It is that victory that we seek to give back to the people of this beloved country, the Pearl of Africa. And so, prepare yourselves. It's not business as usual. We have announced a campaign that is going to take two forms. Plan A, that is led by POA beginning today, that is going to go into the electoral front. Plan B, that is going to complement Plan A and led by the most formidable activist, Colonel retired Dr. Kiza Besigye, who is going to be part of this struggle. And so, to those doubting Thomases, the FDC is coming on two fronts in this election, not in a single front as we used to do previously. And so I want to thank everybody who has been helpful in getting me to this point where I am now preparing to run for the highest office in this land. I wish to thank my comrades from the FDC, and certainly Owech Waswa Birigwa, who was a competitor with me during our primary elections. The secretariat, led by the Honorable Nandala Mafabi Nathan, who has done the spade work to ensure that our papers are in order. The leadership of Parliament, led by the Honorable Megu Betty Aolo Chan, who has continued to rally the troops behind the FDC. I want to thank you all. I want to thank my family who are present here, represented by my wife, who have been supportive of whatever I do. I want to thank common Ugandans who have received us in all forms wherever we have gone across this country. To you, I would like to say awadifo. Apoyo matek. Elagara noi. Yalama noi. Mwewale ino. Mwewale munonga. Mwewale nyo. Asante sana. God bless you all. God bless our country. God bless the FDC. And I dare to say, one Uganda. One people. Ra. Cha. Power. 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 Thank you very much.